all of the scenes in the prison are all studio. Originally we were hoping to shoot actually at the H block and in the actual cells that Bobby Sands was held and the others were held, but that wasn't possible. It was politically just too much of a hot potato. An exact replica was built in a warehouse on the outskirts of Belfast, and the cells are exactly the same size as the cells in the H blocks. And one of the approaches that we had was that there would be no breakaway walls. That the whole idea is that we work within that confined area, because that's where those people lived for 23 hours a day, sometimes 24 hours a day for weeks on end. And it was really important that you get the sense that their lives had been taken down to that scale. That was partially one of the reasons for the 2:40 aspect ratio as well, so that you could get a sense of that space or lack of space that they had to contend with. And so it was very important that we never felt that the camera was cheating and the camera was somewhere where it couldn't possibly be. And I think that was a very successful part of it. The other part of it was that it had to, in terms of the lighting, it had to be real. The only light that came into the cell was from either an overhead light, which was controlled by the prison guards, or through the window. And so those were the two lights that we used. For the daytime shots, I believe it was probably a 20K going through a full grid cloth. We couldn't look out the windows because there was nothing there. So the windows were gridded over so that you would get that sense of that soft, cold Northern Irish light just coming in and sort of filling the cell itself. And for the nighttime, we used, again, tungsten instruments, probably I think they were 2Ks, which we put a filter combination on them to create that really hard, nasty, yellowy green sodium light, which was what existed there as well. So, we could adjust the hardness and the softness of the light accordingly, but the direction was always going to be the same. The actual cell lights themselves, which were fittings that were built into the roof on the cells, again, we used just tungsten bulbs, as would have been used within the prison cell itself. But it was all as real as could be. I mean, for me, I always try to ensure that the lighting has a source, that it is a coherent source, so that the angle, the quality, and the color and the intensity is absolutely believable. And that is the basis from which then I build everything else. So if the main source is a window, I'll work with the window first. The cut film is the domain of the director and the editor. I mean, I simply create the images. They create the juxtaposition of the images. So, something like the shots of the birds in the trees, that was very much in the script and very much something that was integral to the script itself.